BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top trade. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi. Hello everybody, welcome back. A bit of a late start today. Easter, kids, eggs, you know the drill. So I thought I'd do a quick update on Ethereum Classic, as unpopular as the original video I made was. I thought it's worthy of talking about it again, because I know some people are in the trade. So the setup was basically this. Look, we got golden cross, we had a pump signal, all kicking in at the same time. So you take your position around the 200 exponential if we get a retest. It was a bit messy, a bit wiki, but let's just assume that the position was taken on the 200 exponential as required, and it actually pumped at 11.5%, and it's still up to the tune of 7.5%. Again, this is a trader's market. This is a trader's setup. This isn't anything other than that. I'm not talking about the next big super millionaire starter kit coin. I'm talking about a trade setup, which is something that people have been asking me a lot about. How do you identify trade setups and stuff? I am planning, and I was talking about it on the Telegram, I'm planning on creating a course. And the more I sort of plan it, the larger it is actually. So it's probably going to take a while. I think just on a side note, I think if I am going to do this, which I probably am, it's going to come out in dribs and drabs. And I think what I'll do is members of the Patreon, I'll upload videos, as part of the course on there. So the Patreon members will just get access to it as and when I make it. And then when it's finally finished, I'll stick it all on Udemy for a small fee. But anyway. This was a trade setup based on 4 hourly. It's not dissimilar to any other trade setup that you look for, really. A trend has already begun. A trend kind of confirms once a golden cross kicks in. And if you're looking for an entry point, you don't enter in on the cross itself. You enter after a retest, because if it's going to be a valid trade, you look for a retest on it and then you get a bounce. On top of that, you got your pump signals, and obviously you'd always have to check momentum. Momentum's been good since the positive cross down below the 0 point over here, picking up momentum above the 0 point, negative cross while we consolidated, and a positive cross just around here above the 0 point, leading into the first initial sort of large move, I suppose, that we got in that one day. Look, Ethereum Classic is obviously going to be market dependent, and what I mean by that is that it's going to move with the market. It's not going to do its own thing on its own. If Bitcoin comes down, it's going to come down with it. If Bitcoin goes up, it's going to go up with it. If Bitcoin goes sideways like it is right now along with the rest of the market, the chances are that this will also go up if Bitcoin just goes sideways. It just requires that stability, like all altcoins require some form of stability from the overall market, because the market moves as one. So it's that, we all know that, but some people might be tuning in for the first time on, and wondering, why does everything dump in one go? Why does everything sort of pump in one go? It's because crypto is one giant machine that sort of drags everybody up and down with it, and you'll always get little pumps from some things randomly outside, out in a red market, for instance. That's to be expected, but it's not to be predicted, if that makes sense. So now looking at this on the daily, since that move that we got a few days back, we've reclaimed the Bollinger Band Center. The 10's crossing over the 20, the 21 as well. So there's a lot of support that's sitting down here at $32.5. Crossing up above the 0 point once again, quite close to the bottom as well. So if it does decide it wants to move up, the top targets that I had, which was obviously a V-shaped recovery back up to 38 and probably into the 40s, I think is quite likely. Looking at this, we did have one drive of bearish divergence on the highest turn time frames. I think all of this is all played out now after that last consolidation. So let's have a look at the weekly, see how she's looking. Right, so, we noticed a lot of this on the Patreon as well, and I don't know how much we can take it seriously, but, it is a signal in itself. It's a pump signal on the Ichimoku Cloud on the weekly, suggesting that actually, if this is real and the market is real and we are still bullish in this market, then a setup and a signal like this is really big and really good. And again, it is on a weekly, so you'd be looking for weekly resistances. You've got a big one over here around $48. And then the next one over here, and again, this is going to sound like kind of hopium, because again, when I talked about this trade, it was based on a 4-hourly, right? I said this is a 4-hourly setup, so you have 4-hourly targets, and with the 4-hourly targets being a maximum of 15%, you know, that would be that setup played. I'm talking about now there is a weekly setup, which again is going to require more time to play out, if it plays out at all, because it's market dependent. But if this does play out, like, and this isn't the only altcoin out there that's doing the same, that's basically doing this, then yeah, you look at weekly targets at this point, and the first one's going to be 47, almost 48, all the way up to $76. Now, someone's going to watch this and go, what? And then I understand. I get that. Ethereum Classic is, well, what is it? You know, it's not Ethereum. It's not Classic. What is it? What you know? Why would it be? It's there's one thing I suppose you've noticed at RVN as well, which Ravencoin. That's one of the networks which inherited a lot of the hash power when Ethereum went from proof of work to proof of stake. Ethereum Classic also benefited from that. So maybe we might be seeing a similar kind of move to that, but I wouldn't. Yeah, that's just an anecdote. It's nothing more than that. I go by charts, and the charts suggest that yeah, we've had our first move up now. It wasn't 15%, but it still could easily be. We're waiting for a larger move now. The daily looks ripe for it. The weekly's okay as well. I mean, more than okay. It's pretty sweet. Check the 3-day, getting support above all major moving averages. Fresh golden cross as well. So I quite like this still, and you know, I'm holding a nice chunk of it, really, and I'm expecting it to play. It doesn't mean that it will, but I am expecting it to play. It's worth mentioning as well that on the 3-day, there is no bearish divergence on this one. This is a steady uptrend wanting more. Same with the weekly. The weekly, I'm pretty sure, has avoided any. Yeah, it has no bearish divergence, and it's only really that daily that had a bit of a crooked move from here, and I think that's already played. So as far as I'm concerned, this is an uptrending, and about to go to its next new local high. But other than that, look, it's not the only altcoin out there. It's just one of the ones that I'm playing. And I like it, and I think it's going to work. That's all I say. So it's a quick update on the original setup, and that is that. Right, I'm going to leave it with you there. There's nothing much more to say about it than that. Still in the trade, still waiting for the higher high, and maybe even a much larger breakout on higher term timeframes. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.